Like I said, though, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, being here with us today. Wherever you're coming from, no matter what time it is, I can't be more thankful for each of you for hanging out and sharing your love, sharing your passion, sharing your energy for this global movement that we all are a part of and we're all connected through currently. Keep putting your thoughts and comments in the chat as well. I love seeing you all are so insightful, and each of the comments that we've gotten are just constant reminders for me of, oh man, we have some awesome people on our planet that truly make me optimistic about our future and where it's headed. But my name is Baylee for all of those of you out there who are tuning in maybe for the first time. It's 1 a.m. here for me in Chicago, but it's, I'm sure, beautiful days for you all out there, depending on where you are at and coming to us from. We'll go ahead and get started. I couldn't be more excited to kind of help facilitate this next session. This is Stephanie Wong, you'll see her in the picture, and she is the project manager at Te Mana o Te Moana. And I can't wait to share her story with all of you. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here today to be here with us live in person, but I literally cannot tell you how excited I was when their video came in, exploring one of the most premier sea turtle care centers in the world, showing a little bit of behind the scenes about what it takes to actually care for animals that have either been attempted to be poached or hurt in the wild, what it takes to actually care for those animals. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing so I can tell you a little bit about this awesome group. So Te Mana o Te Moana. This next session, like I said, we're going to be joined by Stephanie Wong, and she's their project manager. And she's going to take us on a tour of their turtle care center and talk through how they in French Polynesia are protecting their biodiversity for generations to come. But that's not all. Throughout, I will be quizzing you on all your turtle knowledge. I'm a turtle enthusiast myself, a little bit different kind of turtle. These we were talking about are sea turtles. I'm more of a terrestrial-based sea turtle fan myself, although love a good, terrestrial turtle fan myself, but love a good sea turtle. But I'll be quizzing you all throughout on your turtle knowledge, and definitely don't be afraid. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll be reading them. But a little bit about Te Mana o Te Moana. So this group was founded in 2004, and they act for the protection of the Polynesian marine environment and more. And specifically, they work to protect sea turtles through actions of discovery, education, and protection. And since the inception of this program, so like I said, in 2004, they've cared for more than 570 sea turtles in their care center in Moorea and educated nearly 90,000 young people about environmental issues happening in their communities and what they can do about it. It's okay if you didn't study. I saw that already in the chat. This is an easy quiz, but I hope a super informative one. So let's get it started and hear from Stephanie.
Happy World Ocean Day. Welcome to Te Mana o Te Moana. Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie. I am from Tahiti in French Polynesia, and I am the team of Te Mana o Te Moana since 6 months as project manager. So first of all, thank you for your interest for our environmental actions and for asking us to participate at this great project. Thank you. So welcome in French Polynesia on the island of Moorea. Today we are at the Sea Turtle Care Center, And firstly, I would like to introduce you our association. It's Actions for Environmental Conservation, and our team. So the Temanauti Moana is a non-profit organization founded in 2004, and its main objective is to protect the Polynesian marine environment, and through three domains of action: sea turtles, education, and environment. So there, behind me, you have a natural resting pool, some nurseries, and a rehabilitation pool. And since 15 years of existence, the association has rescued over 570 sea turtles, and released 242 sea turtles.
Okay, you know what that means. It's time for our first quiz question. So I will go ahead and flip over to the quiz. Let me get it pulled up. Oh, the quiz sound. Okay, so we'll take a second. If you all have never used Kahoot before, no matter what device you're coming to us from, so if you have a phone or a laptop, basically just type in www.kahoot.it, and you'll be asked to put in a game pin. And so that little game pin is 167697. So we'll take a minute just for players to roll in. You can, if you're watching this afterwards, you can still play this game. It still is out there. So we'll see and wait for a couple people to hop on. We see Nia. This is so fun seeing all of the players players for our game. And for those who are watching us on YouTube as well, I know this is a little bit behind, so if we don't include you in on the game, I'm so sorry, but definitely feel free to still answer along in the chat over there as well. Yay, they're rolling in. You guys will also have to test me on my sea turtle knowledge as well throughout. And if any of you have any fun sea turtle facts, or just a love for sea turtles and want to give them some love, put that in our chat as well. I'd love to hear all of your love for this beautiful creature. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So what you do is when I'm gonna hit start, which, crazy, and it's gonna ask you a question, and then ultimately you'll click the answer on your screen. So let's get started. Sea turtle trivia. First question. How many different species of sea turtles are there? This is a tricky one. Most people just say, well, I'm not going to tell you, because that would give that away. Oh, almost all of the answers. The answer is 7. If you got 7, congratulations, you know your sea turtles. But do you know all of their names? So I'm sure you all know the green sea turtle, but the 6 others might not be as familiar or common to you. And that is the leatherback sea turtle, obviously the green sea turtle, the hawksbill sea turtle, the loggerhead, the olive ridley, the Kemp's ridley, and the flatback, which I definitely encourage you all to give those a look. You know, they all look a little different, and that's a common misconception that people have, is that they all look the same, and they don't. But at Te Mana o Te Moana, they actually have 4 species that they care for primarily, and that's the green sea turtle, the hawksbill, the olive ridley, and the loggerhead. Fun fact for you there. So let's get back to Stephanie and see what she's up to.
And currently we have 7 turtles in this clinic. So we have get.
Also, I think there was a bee. So how cool is this?
Most of them were poached with spear gun, and unfortunately, some of them they will be not they will be never released in their natural environment because they will be not able to survive on their own. For example, this one is Tuffy. Tuffy is a green turtle. Tuffy received an arrow in its head, and that's why it always turns on right. So it cannot turn on left. So that's why we cannot release it in the ocean. And we have also Okeli. Okeli is a green turtle received last year. So Okeli was poached also, and an arrow crossed the head, and that's why we cannot release it now. So it needs us to feed, and needs specific care, intensive care. Alors, après on a this one, the big turtle over there is Tortilla. Donc Tortilla is a hawksbill turtle. It is our oldest resident of this clinic, and due of its problem of floatability, we cannot release it. So it will be here forever. Voilà. And we have another turtle that we cannot release. Matapo. Oh. So as you cannot see that Matapo is arriving. Matapo is a hawksbill turtle, is a blind turtle because she received an arrow on both eyes. So it needs us to feed, and if we release it in the wild, it cannot survive from predators, and cannot feed itself. So we prefer to keep it here. It's more safe. So now I'm going to show you the other facilities of our association. Let's go. So here these are our offices of the association, and Te Manao Te Moana consists of a permanent team composed of veterinarian, marine biologist, specialist in communication and education, a caretaker, and me as project manager. And currently I'm working on the data collection of sea turtle in French Polynesia. So through this project, Hey Moana. So the objective is to identify the sea turtle in French Polynesia through photo identification method. Alors, je cherche. Voilà. So you have to know the scales, the scales on their both sides of sea turtle's face. Okay, is all like fingerprints of humans. Wow. And thanks to method, we can identify the sea turtle in French Polynesia, and know voilà. Hello, Kali. So here's our caretaker, Kali. Kali is giving care to Tonoa. Tonoa is this one is Tonoa. Tonoa is a green turtle. Arrived last December.
Yay! It's time for another quiz question. Did that startle some of you? That startled me. So let's get back to, also let's see who's in the lead. Lani and Nia, congrats. You're at the top of the leaderboard, but don't worry. To those who are, maybe didn't get that question correct, you still have many more questions to go to get some more points. So let's get to the second question. Which of the 7 sea turtle species does not have a hard shell? This is a tough one. It's not as obvious as you would think. Yay, we got some good ones. It is the leatherback sea turtle, for those who guessed that correctly. So according to the World Wildlife Fund, 6 of the 7 sea turtle species have hard shells. Leatherback turtles are the only ones who don't. Their shells are more supple and similar to leather, which hence the name. But leatherbacks are also the largest sea turtle species, fun fact, and can weigh up to 1,500 pounds and measure approximately 63 inches. So these are pretty big species of turtles. And like I said, if you all haven't seen a picture or seen what this specific type of sea turtle looks like, definitely check it out. You won't want to miss just how beautiful and special this specific type of turtle is. So let's get back to Stephanie and see what they are doing with Tanawa.
With some wounds, and today Tanawa needs specific care because it has some wounds on its plastron. Donc Kali is giving care. So as you can see, Tanawa has some wounds on its plastron there, and every day Kali is giving care. Every day Kali is giving care, specific care to Tanawa. So voilà. Maintenant tu peux soigner, vas-y. So now Kali applies this infection, and with its specific care.
Okay, I'm coming back to you. So before we continue, I did want to share a little message from the team at Te Moana about what's going on with Tanawa. And you all watching are probably thinking, man, what happened to this beautiful, beautiful creature? What is Kiari working on? How is he taking care of Tanawa? So we're in the care room right now, and basically what happened is that they found Tanawa with immense spear wounds in his neck and head, and so they believe he was attempted to be poached originally when they found him, and basically they rescued him and brought him here to Te Mana o Te Moana in the care center. Unfortunately, though, he does have an infection in some of those wounds, and their care staff are taking amazing care of him, and that's what we're about to see actually, is how they care for these wounds on the turtles when they arrive to the care center, because it's not as simple as bringing them in and then putting them in kind of the pool that we saw earlier. They have to measure and take care of and make sure there's no infection. So this next part that we're about to see is with Keri and Tanawa, and basically, so you'll see a red liquid, and that red liquid is a disinfectant called betadine. And it's used on wounds to prevent bacterial infections with turtles. And so that's the process we're about to see next. The first time I saw it, I was, Oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an explanation before we saw that. So I'll give it back to the team.
Here, voilà, specific treatments. And
that's the betadine, right?
And as soon as
putting on
it is healthy, it could be released in the wild. So for this moment, we take care, and we prefer to keep it in this clinic until its status of health is improved. So as I told you, Temana Moana works on education and raising awareness. So here it's our educational room. So it's here where we educate and welcome children and adults to raise awareness for the protection of environment, of marine environment. And so Temana Moana has implemented since 2004 several projects, several educational programs, and one of our projects is we are working on is on the plastic pollution called Manahonu. So Manahonu, so we work to fight against the plastic pollution, and through this project we have created several supports like games, like educational games, and this is our games, 7 families, and some comics, voilà, to raise awareness, population, children and adults, while having fun. And why implementing this project? Because we found that plastics, there are plastics or fishing net, Hansun also. We found that in the citral stomach, and
yay! I'll keep it going. I love that sound. It always just reminds me of like playing like quiz games at school. But we're not at school, we're at Youth-A-Thon. So let's get back to the quiz. Okay, let's see who's in the... Well, we got some new names to the leaderboard. Congrats to those who are coming up and popping up. That's awesome. 1,400 points, Nia. Wow. Keep it up. Keep up that good turtle knowledge, that good turtle energy. But let's get to the next question. Out of the 7 species of sea turtles, which species are considered the most endangered? The Ridley was the one guessed, but actually it is, that's a correct answer. It's the Kemp's Ridley. So according to the National Wildlife Federation, the Kemp's Ridley sea turtle has been designated and endangered since 1970 under the Endangered Species Act and are internationally listed as critically endangered. They're considered the most seriously endangered of the 7 sea turtle species, but nearly all 7 species are classified as endangered. So for those who guessed Olive Ridley, you would still be correct. Unfortunately, they are considered endangered as well. And that's mostly due, unfortunately, to human activity. So the reason why I brought this question up is, looking at beautiful Tanawan, the other sea turtles that they have there in the care center, it makes you wonder what, we would hope. It's cool to kind of tour this facility, but ultimately we would love for them to be out in the wild enjoying the beautiful open ocean. And unfortunately, a lot of sea turtle species are endangered because of accidental capture by fishing gear. And actually the errors before us, before this session, actually mentioned that was something that they were working on as well, was the nets and working to safely dispose of those to avoid any types of sea turtles, whether it's a Kemp's Ridley or not, getting entangled in that. But this is a great lesson, I think, and I'm so glad that we can share this time with Stephanie and at their center, because ultimately, it's on us. I mentioned in the chat earlier that I'm from a landlocked community. I'm thousands of miles away. That's extreme, hundreds of miles away from the ocean. And, I think it's easy sometimes for people to think perhaps that we don't have any responsibility in protecting these communities. And that's not true. We, no matter where you're at, are responsible, but can take actions to protect these beautiful creatures, and make sure that they're abundant, their populations are abundant and flourishing for all animals, right? We're talking about the sea turtle, but it can be really anything. So with that, let's get back to Stephanie.
And we want to show the local population and tourists, all publics, that it is more important to protect our oceans, but everybody knows all waste from land go to the ocean, and that's why we organize once a month waste collecting, and that is our mascot made by a volunteer, and this waste comes from our previous collection. Cleanup day. And so as you can see, you have plastic bottles, fishing net, straw, and this waste go to the ocean, and that has an impact on the marine fauna, and that's why it's important to raise awareness population against plastic pollution, and so So that is a scale from a big green turtle, like this. Ah, comme ça. This one was more tall, and we have to educate and raise awareness children. We have some supports, real supports. So like scale, and eggs of hatchlings of citteros. So this is a shell of eggs.
Also, for those of you who that is so loud for, I'm so sorry, but it's fun. And we're doing a little quiz game, so we need some cool sound effects. So let's get back to the quiz. Let's check out that leaderboard. Nia is on fire. Wow, but there's a couple of you who are not very far behind, so keep it up. Keep the enthusiasm for this turtle love coming. This is awesome, but let's get to that next question. So how many plastic particles are estimated to be on our ocean's surface? I know this can be a kind of a tricky question. There's not always, such a right answer. Yay, we got a couple of people got it right. That's awesome. So it is approximately, is what I should say, or estimated, but 5.25 trillion plastic particles are estimated to currently be on our ocean surface, which is insane. Imagine all of those little broken up pieces of different old materials and boxes and different things like that just sitting. And I heard this awesome quote this week that someone said, maybe it was earlier in Youth-A-Thon, we're going in so many hours, maybe I'm stealing it from that, but they said that plastic doesn't necessarily break down, it breaks up. And that's the way that we should be thinking about it. But a little bit more about the statistics. So according to the Five Gyres Institute, one of the leading research groups on plastic pollution, which if you haven't given them a view, definitely go check them out. But nearly 269,000 metric tons, or 5.25 trillion particles, currently reside on the ocean surface. And that just gets back to what I was saying, we all have, we are all connected. It might not seem like it, but we are downwind, downstream, upstream, upwind from our ocean. And, the things that we are doing in our life, there's no away, right? We can't throw things away. They don't really go away necessarily. So, keeping that in mind is super critical. As if this is a session that you're like, what can we do? How can we prevent this from happening? That's something super easy. It's just limiting your plastic footprint and your plastic consumption. So we do have one more question, and we're almost to the end of the video. So let's get back to Stephanie.
So you have to know, around the world there are 7 species of citterol, and here currently we have 2 species, so green turtle and hawksbill turtle, and we already received 2 other species, the loggerhead turtle, and the olive ridley turtle. Voilà. And voilà, that's why. And I would like to show you. I would like to show you. So, Moana has implemented, as I told you, several educational programs, and on different themes. So we work on marine mammals, reef coral, sea turtles, marine biodiversity, and plastic pollution. And là, you have just discovered the actions of in Sea Turtle Care Center, but you have to know Moana works on the atoll of Techaroa. Techaroa is not far away from Moana, and over there, we have a team composed of marine biologists and who working on the protection and conservation of the green sea turtles nesting sites. And so over there, they monitor nesting sites, and during the hatchings, the team over there bring us some hatchlings, sick or injured, voilà, to take care to become to improve their health. Voilà. And we participate at in several scientific projects also, and on the atoll of Techaroa, our team is working on the take the parameter. Our team takes the environmental parameters to monitor nesting sites, and because the temperature, the sex of the sea turtle depends on the temperature in their nest. So, well. So you have just discovered all actions, and I hope you enjoyed this short moment with me. And don't hesitate to get involved in the conservation of our marine biodiversity. I hope you enjoyed this short moment with me. To learn more, you can go on the website www.temanautemoana.org. And I was a pleasure to participate at the World Ocean Day. And I hope to see you next year. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. We're sending you so much love in French Polynesia. So we'll go ahead and stop that. We have one more quiz question. So thank you so much for sticking through this with us. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll talk a little bit more about the Care Center after this last quiz question, but I just couldn't be more thankful for them to show us this really up close and kind of behind the scenes look at what it takes to work at a sea turtle care center. So let's get to that last question and see who's in the lead. Oh, Jazz jumped up. Thank you guys so much for continuing to play. And Nia, definitely keep up that turtle love. You're on fire. So last quiz question. How many eggs do green sea turtles lay per nest on average? It's a tricky one. Oh, we got them all in. To those who guessed 115, and that's an approximate number, just so you all know, or an average. You are correct. Congratulations for knowing so much about turtles. But according to the Sea Turtle Conservancy, green sea turtles nest at intervals of about every 2 weeks with year-to-year fluctuations in numbers of nesting females. But they nest between 3 to 5 times per season and lay an average about 115 eggs in each nest, with eggs incubating for about 60 days. So before we get talking about that, let's see who our sea turtle trivia winners are. Jazz in 3rd place. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And the winner, yeah, yay, you guys are so awesome. Thanks so much, Holly, Daniela, Yan, Nia, and Jazz for playing. You guys are awesome.